Hey guys, here we are ready to check our work from lesson 97. Our first problem was number 6. We just had to describe what happened to get from the original triangle to the image. And you should have written that it was a translation of 5 units to the right. Number 9, 40 is 250% of what number? I wrote it as an equation. I changed my 250% to 2.5. So now my new equation is 40 equals 2.5 times what number? What's happening to WN? It's being multiplied by 2.5. So how do I undo that? I divide by 2.5 on both sides. 40 divided by 2.5 is 16. This cancels. So 16 is my what number? Number 10. 40 is what percent of 60? So I wrote it as an equation. 40 is what percent of 60? What's happening to WP? It's being multiplied by 60. I undo that by dividing by 60 on both sides. Cancels out here. 40 divided by 60 reduces to 2/3. Multiply my fraction times 100% to get to percent. 200% divided by 3 is 66 2/3%. If you don't have that percent memorized, that's a good one to memorize. Number 11 asks for a decimal number. What decimal number is 40% of 60? I changed my 40% to 0.4. 0.4 times 6 is 2.4. That is our what decimal? 2 4/10. Number 12 was an original change new problem. It says that the price of the car increased 10% in a year, so the new percent is 110%. If the price this year is $17,600, what was the price last year? So they want us to find the original price before the increase. So I created my proportion. When I did my cross products, the original price was $16,000. Number 15 is an inverse variation problem. Okay, it says that at 3 miles an hour, it takes 15 minutes. So we want to compare that to going 5 miles an hour and find out how many minutes that would take. Okay, so this result here has to be the same as this result here. 3 times 15 is 45. What do I multiply 5 by to get to 45? It has to be 9 minutes. So think about it as an inverse variation problem. Okay, I'm going 3 miles an hour. I'm increasing my speed, so that means the time it takes me is going to be less. Okay. Number 16, multiply my scientific notation numbers. 5.4 times 6 gives me 32.4. 10 to the 8th times 10 to the negative 4 gives me 10 to the 4th. But this is not proper. 32.4 should be 3.24 times 10 to the 1. Then I bring back my times 10 to the 4. 1 and 4 give me an exponent of 5. 3.24 times 10 to the 5th. Number 17 asks for the circumference and area of a circle with a radius of 10 millimeters. So my circumference formula, pi times diameter. If the radius is 10, diameter is 20 millimeters. When I multiply it times 3.14, the result is 62.8 millimeters. Pi r squared is our area formula. R is 10. 10 squared is 100. 100 times 3.14 is 314 millimeters square. Number 18 is area of a trapezoid. So here's my area of a trapezoid formula. Base 1 plus base 2, divide by 2. Remember, I have to average the bases, times the height. So my bases were 8 and 12. Divide that by 2, I get 10. My height is 8. I can't use the sides. I have to use the height they give me. So 10 feet times 8 feet gives me 80 feet square. Number 19. This one was probably difficult. Our first figure they give us on A is a triangular prism. They want us to find the volume. So remember our new formula for volume. Area of the base, capital B, is area of the base times the height. Okay, now remember we have to determine what shape is our base. On A, the base is a triangle. So I have to get capital B, area of the base, I have to use our formula for area of a triangle. That triangle is 1 by 2, divide by 2. That gives me an area, capital B, of 1 meter squared. So then I got to bring in my height. That means how far the figure goes back on this one, this triangular prism. It goes back 2 units. So my area of the base times the height gives me a total volume of 2 meters cubed. This should be cubed. Letter B is a cylinder. Okay, still our same formula for volume. Area of the base. On a cylinder, the base is a circle. So my formula for area of the base here, I'm going to use my pi r squared formula. Okay, pi r squared. It says leave pi as pi. R in this one is 1. So the area of the base is 1 pi meters squared. And then I multiply it times the height to get the volume. The height is also 1. So 1 pi meter squared times 1 meter is 1 pi meter cubed. Okay? So those were our volumes for the triangular prism and the cylinder. Number 20, we had 2 triangles that met together and formed a right angle between them. They want us to find the angle measures. So angle X, I said, well, if I add 120 and 25, that gives me 145. All 3 angles have to equal 180. So 180 minus 145 is 35 degrees for angle X. To find angle Y, I knew that if I added angle X and this right angle and angle Y, they had to make 180 degrees because this is a line. If I combine all these angles, it's a line. So angle X was 35, the right angle is 90. Together that gave me 125. Take that away from 180. Angle Y has to be 55 degrees. So now this is 55, this is 60, that gives me 115. Take it away from 180. That gives me 65 degrees for angle A, because all 3 angles of a triangle have to add up to 180. Number 21 was a similar triangle problem. Okay, so they gave us those triangles. They said they were similar. So we just learned that in similar triangles, their corresponding side lengths are proportional. So I created a proportion. I compared side X on the small one to the corresponding side on the big one, which was 12. And that relationship has to be the same as 10 on the small one is to 15 on the big one. So I did my cross products, and I found that X, the side marked X, has to be 8 centimeters. 22 was one of our indirect measure problems. Okay. It said if we have a pole, and the pole casts a 72-foot shadow, nearby, a yardstick casts a 48-inch shadow. They want us to figure out how tall the power pole is. Well, the power pole casts a shadow 72 feet long, and the other measurements, they gave us 1 in yards and 1 in inches, so I converted them all to feet. Okay, so I could be talking all about the same type of measurement. So instead of 1 yard, I said my yardstick was 3 feet, and instead of 48 inches, I said the shadow was 4 feet. Okay, so now I can kind of create similar triangles here and say compare the length or the height of the power pole to my yardstick. So the power pole compared to the yardstick has to be the same relationship as the shadow of this one to the shadow of this one. Okay, I did my cross products, and the power pole has to be 54 feet. Number 26 was a collect like terms problem. 3x minus y plus 8 plus x plus y minus 2. So 3x, I combined it with this positive x, that gave me 4 x's. Negative y combines with positive y, so now I don't have any y's. Positive 8 combines with negative 2, that's a result of positive 6. So 4x plus 6 is the result. 27 is a distribution problem. A, 3 times x minus y. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative y is negative 3y. B, x times y is xy. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Okay, guys, send me an email. Let me know if there's any of these that you don't understand after we've gone over them, okay? Hope you have a great day. See you next time.